Hey Curlfriends, so today's a little bit different only because we actually have a special guest straight out of the UK today. Her name is Mary. You guys might know her from the Curly Closet, and she's coming on to tell us exactly how she literally, number one, went viral on YouTube, number two, hit 66,000 subscribers, and number three, was able to quit her full-time job. So if you guys want to know exactly how she did all of that, then definitely keep on watching. And do your girl a little favor, hit up that like button and also hit up the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you never ever miss another video. Without further ado, let's go. What's up, Mary?
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Yeah, I'm well, thank you. I've got my good old British cup of tea here. I'm fine.
That's so British. I love that. My grandma, she was like, my family spent a lot of time in Britain before they migrated to Canada, and yeah, you can't take them away from their tea. Like, everybody drinks tea. I mean, I guess I'm Canadian because I'm over here with water, but the tea is a big thing. I love my tea. It's sort of
It is, and I mean, my mom is she's passed the tea loving on to me.
oh, that's so cute.
Love her in the house more than everybody else. Definitely.
I love that. Mary,
Yeah.
we have you here today because we've got a bunch of Curlfriends who, you know, they are all pretty much into the same thing that you and I are doing right now, which is like YouTubing, and they're talking about their hair and they got their hair journey, and, you know,
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of them know about you because, I mean, you're pretty big here, like 66,000 subscribers. That's a present. So tell us more about yourself. Yeah. You're a huge YouTuber. We'd love to hear more.
Oh, it's so weird to hear you say that. I know it's true, but it's so strange. I don't think I never expected it to last this long or end up where it is now at all.
Yeah.
So yeah, sorry, what was the question? I was too busy blushing to remember the question. Sorry. What was the question?
Sure. Yeah, you hit 66,000 subscribers. Like, that is huge. That is massive. You are well on your way to 100,000 subscribers. Like,
Yeah, that's
I
one
guess
of my
that answers
goals.
the question. How does that feel? Like,
Yeah, it feels surreal, a little bit surreal,
yeah.
because I just kind of started my YouTube for fun, and then kind of somewhere along the way got a little bit more serious about it. And then I don't know, I look at the numbers all the time and I kind of go, is that really, like, is that me? Oh my God. You know, when it really hits me is when I just meet people or friends out and about, and then they find out that I have a YouTube, because I don't always introduce my YouTube straight away.
Right.
And then they say, oh, okay, so how many subscribers have you got? That's always the first question they ask. I go, yeah. So like 66, 67. Okay. Well, you mean like 1,000? I'm like, yeah. What? That's like, yeah, that's a surreal moment. I'm like, oh my God, I've actually, like, that's quite a lot of people. And I look at my analytics and I realize it's people from all over the world. It's surreal, but a really nice feeling.
Yeah, so you achieved, that's amazing. Like, you know, I've watched your channel from the beginnings back in 2011, 12-ish, right till today in 2020, and you've just like exploded. And like, what does that look like? Because so many people are sitting in on the background and they're like, oh, like, you know, I can just fling up a YouTube and call it a day and like make some money. But like, what does that look like for you? 'Cause
well, for me, and originally when I started, I really wasn't thinking about making money. I just was, I had gotten into kind of the natural hair scene online. And actually, well, not even the natural hair scene, just hair in general. And I think I was a member of a hair care forum. In fact, that's where I met you, I remember. Because you used those videos in, I think it was Hairlister.
yeah.
So, yeah, back in the day. So yeah, I was just like, one day I was at home and I was a bit bored. I had a webcam on my laptop. I thought, oh, let me just, let me make a YouTube video. I thought, this is so weird. some weird troll is probably gonna say something really horrible to me about my video. But I just thought, you know what? I just done it for fun. It's fine. It doesn't matter. If it's the worst comes to the worst, if I can't stand it or if everybody hates it, I just delete it and just carry on with the rest of my life. It's fine. So I uploaded the video and then someone left a comment. They left a constructive comment as well. They said, oh, you know, this is good. It would help if you would do XYZ next time. I thought, oh yeah, that's true. That's nice. And I think I got a notification to my email saying such and such has subscribed to your channel. I'm like, what? I got to subscribe? What? Really? Somebody wants to subscribe to me?
So cute.
And it kind of carried on from there. So I carried on, and then when I first started, my hair was, well, relaxed slash texturized. And then I decided to do my big chop. And I just kind of carried on my natural hair journey. And just over time, my subscribers grew and grew. And it was just, again, it was still just, I was just having fun. I still do have fun, to be honest. And then somewhere about a year into my natural hair journey, I had a random idea for a video one day. I just thought my hair was at an awkward stage. That awkward stage where you need to kind of style it somehow. I was getting tired of doing finger coils. My hair was getting longer, but it still wasn't long enough to put into like a puff or a ponytail. You know, that kind of weird stage. Like, what do I do with it?
Yeah.
Unless I just want to leave it out in like a little fro. So I thought, actually, I should come up with a couple of hairstyles that I can do. And I thought, actually, if I come up with some ideas of what I should do, I should film it and just film some hairstyles. I mean, I'm sure I'm not the only person that has this issue. Maybe someone else is looking for inspiration for some hairstyles they can do. So I did my video, uploaded it, I put it out. And the next thing I knew, it kind of sort of went viral. I was really shocked. I think with that, it was a combination of factors. The idea was good. I think the timing was good too.
Right.
Because I put it out somewhere around mid to late August, which is when in the States, and I think Canada too, like a lot of people go back to school.
Yeah.
So, and I labeled the video back to school hairstyles.
Right.
And yeah, it was just, I guess it was just the perfect time for that kind of video, and people really loved it, and they started subscribing in massive numbers. I mean, I couldn't believe my eyes. I think it started off kind of slow. Like, I got some comments from people who watch me regularly that said, "Oh, we really like this video. Thank you. This is great." And I think I remember like coming back to the video the next day and seeing, I don't know, like an extra 1,000 or 2,000 views on the video. I was like, wait, hold on. Yesterday, that number wasn't that number yesterday. Yesterday was only like about, I don't know, 500.
Wow.
How did it get to like 1,500 or 2,500? Like, when did that happen?
Yeah.
But then, I don't know. Even now, I'm in shock. You can see it literally went through the roof. Like, I was getting literally like 5,000 views per day consistently for a really long time, and I couldn't believe my eyes.
Yeah.
I was like, people, and then I started getting a lot of comments from people who were not previously subscribed saying, this is perfect. I've been looking for some styles for my natural hair. Like, my hair's in that awkward stage. It's short and I don't know what to do with it. This is great. And it just carried on. I think at the moment that video is at about 1.8 million views.
1.9.
1.9. Oh, you checked. Okay, yeah, see.
Oh, yes. That's the
9
back-to-school hairstyles for short hair, right? Yeah, short natural hair. Yeah, that is incredible because...
And that's basically from that video, I feel like that one video was the one that literally skyrocketed my channel.
So you would say that you just pretty much need one video to go viral, essentially, and that's kind of like how it builds your channel? Like, how does that work?
Essentially, yes, but then after that point, I did start to become a bit more strategic. So, for example, I did that video, but then a year after, my hair was longer,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought, okay, I mean, I released this video last year about August, mid to late August. Let me see if it will happen again. Who knows? Like, let's put this video out and see what happens. Let's come up with 9 more styles. We'll call this one 9 back to school hairstyles for medium natural hair. And
Smart.
see, like it could work. It may not work. Who knows? I put that one out, and pretty much the same thing happened.
Yeah.
I don't know how many that one's got now, but every
590.
so often, you've researched this.
Yes,
Go
sir. When I
go
see
on, how much is it now? I can't remember.
500, about 520,000. Like you're more than 500,000 there.
Yeah,
A lot.
yeah. So
Yeah.
between those 2 videos and then some other videos that I did, those were, I would say, the 2 main ones that really took my channel to a whole nother level. I think I had consistently been getting subscriptions for a while, and I think I'm trying to think. I remember getting to 10,000 and feeling really happy about that. And I think by the time I released the first back to school hairstyles video, I think I was on maybe 14 or 15,000, and it went to 25K very fast after that. And it just kind of carried on from there. It slowed down a bit now,
Right.
but I'm still getting a lot of subscribers and comments on those 2 videos
Right.
all the time, even today. So
Are you experiencing somewhat of a snowball effect with the sense of like that video was up and like, marketing and like, promo on other videos doesn't necessarily have to be as hard because it's snowball. What do you think about that?
yeah, no, that is very true. Although I feel like I still try to keep as consistent as I can, because it's easy to kind of rely on that. But because of, I guess, some of the research that I've done into kind of how YouTube works and CPM and all of that kind of stuff, I realized, not just in terms of views, but in terms of revenue, how do I describe what I'm trying to say? It's not just about the views. In terms of revenue, it's also about where your video is being viewed the most from.
Right.
So the way that CPMs work, certain parts of the world, you get more a higher rate of CPM for advertising in certain parts of the world than others. So because of that factor, it's not just about, of course there is a snowball effect, but you still have to consistently put out good content in order to kind of keep that snowball going as well.
Right.
Because you can just, I have seen people who have just literally put out 1 or 2 videos, and then they come back once every 3 months or something, put out another video and then just go away again. To be honest though, there are some people that I've seen on YouTube that do that, but whenever they come out with a video, the video is always consistently high quality, good content, good information. You can see that they did put time and effort into it. It's not just like, a random video.
Yeah.
So they consistently get high views. Yeah, it happens to some people like that.
Right.
Some of us have to work a bit harder than that.
I know I have noticed a couple channels like that where it's just like no matter how much long they go away, they come back and it's like they just boom, boom, bounce right back into like the flow of things, and then they fall out of favor again.
The public just loves them. What can you do?
Yeah. Or they've got some kind of like spider magic going on behind the scenes that we don't know about. I don't know, but I think that's incredible.
But I think those, I can still, even with those channels or those people that I've seen, even so, there is still a high level of quality, even with the stuff that they put out sporadically. So
right, which makes a difference.
it does make a difference.
So
So
speaking of high quality material, a lot of our YouTubers, there's a lot of conflicting advice out there. So on one end, you hear, listen, like if you want to grow your channel, you've got to post very often, stick to your schedule. Doesn't matter if it's good content, just post. But then the other side of the spectrum is like, no, it's quality over quantity. So, post an amazing video less often to kind of, move the needle forward. What's your take on that? Having been in the game for like last so much time now, really?
I think it depends on what stage your channel is at as to which piece of advice to take more seriously.
I see.
So I've heard people say that you should post as often as you can or at the beginning. And I think that that is true. Just because, you and I know producing a YouTube video is not as easy as it looks. It takes a lot of time, it takes effort. You have to film, you have to upload, and then you have to kind of now reflect on the process and think about, okay, I did this way this time. Does that look good on camera? How does it look? How did my audience respond to it, etc., etc. I think at the beginning, in the earlier stages, it's a learning curve. It's a learning process more than anything else.
Right.
But I do think once you figured out for your channel what works well and what your audience responds best to, at that point, trying to maintain that standard consistently and then kind of have a schedule and all of that kind of stuff, I feel like that comes in more later on. As you build more of a subscriber base and you have an idea of what works and what doesn't work, that's now the time when you can really like look at, okay, what day is the best for me? When are people online more? Shall I post on this day? Shall I post at this time? If I stay consistent, if I post on X day once a week, is that working for my audience? So all of that kind of stuff, I feel like it comes in later on. So I would say both are true, but it just depends on what stage you're in.
Right. That's really good advice. I mean, a lot of the people, the Curlfriends who watch this interview and they watch Curl Chat Wednesday, they're coming here for information about how to push their business forward, how to level up their YouTube game, all those sorts of things. And so with the conflicting information out there, I think it really is helpful to have someone who's been there, done that, and can kind of give a clear idea. I would agree with you though, Mary. Like, I do think that like where your channel is has something to do with it. I personally have seen an uptick both with FNHROCKS as well as with the previous channel where, the more consistent you are, the more you actually start showing up in the algorithm, which is bizarre. But I mean, it also makes sense because YouTube's a business, right?
It is, and the algorithm likes consistent YouTubers. So.
Totally loves consistent YouTubers. Speaking of consistency, so people out here, a lot of people are motivated by what they can make on YouTube, and they want to make money. They want to be able to replace their income that they would have made out in the regular workforce. What are your thoughts on that from like your personal experience and just everything that you know up to from the beginning up until today?
I would say there's nothing. I think it's a great idea to want to do YouTube full time, but you have to chart your own path as to how that's going to happen.
Right.
So for me in 2017, was it 2017? 2017, I was a full-time YouTuber. Now I'm a part-time YouTuber. So in 2017, I literally just, that's all I did to live from, basically. But some events happened during 2017 that kind of meant that my channel took a downturn. It wasn't just me, it was everybody on YouTube. So I would say that's always a great plan to have that in mind, but always have a backup plan. Always have a backup, because you never quite know what's going to happen. Because the thing is with YouTube, YouTube is different from having your own site in that your own website, you control, what goes on there. Apart from, I suppose, if you have like hosting or whatever, but you pay for the hosting, you have your own domain.
Yeah.
It's your site. You basically do what you want legally. But YouTube is not controlled by YouTubers. Although we have a massive input into what happens on the site. But there's a lot that happens on the site that's not governed by us, that we don't control. So, things can happen where a small change in the algorithm happens and then your income drops, or you're not getting as many subscribers as you thought you were going to get. And, so that can happen. So I think it's great to aspire to be a full-time YouTuber. And I think if you have the subscriber base for that, and also you have enough reach to continue to reach new people, then I think that that's a great thing to do. I'm always for entrepreneurship and being self-employed, or being in charge of your own destiny, all of that kind of stuff. But yeah, I would just say always have a backup plan. It's always a good idea.
So it sounds like you're probably not necessarily thinking it's a good idea for people to have a business plan that solely rests upon YouTube for monetization and for monetization. Like, YouTube is the business plan in terms of like getting advertiser dollars. Like, how do you feel about that? Is that realistic to feel that way?
I think it is realistic. I think it would be realistic in terms of having YouTube as a part of the plan, but not the whole plan.
Yeah.
So, because you have to remember as well, most of the pretty much the most successful YouTubers, I don't think any of them just make money off YouTube.
Yeah.
They can make money from YouTube AdSense. A lot of them sell merch. A lot of them have their own products that they sell. A lot of them are doing online courses that they sell. They have more than one stream of income. So in that sense, they have some security in that even if their YouTube income goes down, they still have all of these other things, that they can kind of switch into or rely on, or, everything is not literally like all of their eggs are not just in one basket. So I think YouTube being a part of your plan is a great thing. But just that alone being your plan, I'm not going to knock it though. I personally think it's a risky strategy, but some people do risky things and it works out for them. So I would never say to somebody, oh no, don't do that, that's not going to work. I would just say, well, have an idea of what you could do to diversify your content or get more than one stream of income, because YouTube is a platform that you can't control. And if you can't control it, then okay, if you work in the workforce, you also have a job that you cannot technically control, but in a different sense, even in the sort of the real life working world, you can have a job that you think is secure, and unfortunately things happen, and then you're getting laid off, or all of these kind of things happen. So you won't get YouTube redundancy, like you won't get laid off from YouTube like that, but things can happen.
Yeah,
it's always a good idea to have something else that you can rely on.
Agreed.
So I don't, because for me personally, I make money from YouTube, but YouTube is not the only way that I make money.
Right. That makes total sense, because I think that, and I think there's a lot of information out there about different ways that people can make money, and not necessarily in the sense of like the monetization structure or even having 1,000 subscribers. Obviously, the more subscribers you have, the more people who care about your brand, the better. But, people are able to definitely create viable business structures in different ways without the advertising dollar piece. So I think for a lot of Curlfriends watching this, that's probably going to be like a really helpful piece of advice for them that it's not necessarily just the monetization piece and the advertising. Like, there's definitely more to it than that.
Yeah, and also there are some people, I not sure if people completely realize that there are some people who are considered small YouTubers who technically, due to YouTube, make thousands of dollars a month.
Wow. Yeah.
Because they use their YouTube not as a what's the word I'm looking for? It's not just somewhere where they come to make money from advertising revenue.
Mm-hmm.
It's a place where they come to create a type of content that draws a particular type of viewer who would be interested in their products and services.
Right.
So YouTube actually is their funnel for their outside business.
Right.
So from the looks of it, they could look like, okay, these people only have 1,000 subscribers. But if you look at how their business operates, mm-hmm. only having 1,000 subscribers actually for them is working, because the business model that they have, they are attracting the right kind of customer who will, you know, write them an email and say, oh, I'm interested, you know, I've visited your site, I noticed that you offer this product or this service, and they make a lot of money that way. So yeah, it's not always about how the numbers and how they look.
Absolutely. So if it's not all about the numbers, I mean, the journey is a long journey, right? Like, what is it that keeps you committed to coming back to YouTube and to making videos and connecting with your subscribers and doing all these great things? Like, what does that look like for you, Mary?
Probably just about having fun. I actually find creating content mm-hmm. fun. Mm-hmm. And I think that's a very big part of it. Mm-hmm. Because there are times when even myself, I feel a bit unmotivated. I'm like, okay, I don't really feel like filming today or whatever. You know, like I go through moments of time where I'm not really as happy as I appear on camera, or, you know, life happens, like all of that kind of stuff. But yeah, deep down, I've done it for, a good few years now, and I love interacting with my subscribers. I still get that excited feeling when I upload a video. I'm like, oh my God, it's gone out. What are they going to say? Are they going to like it?
Yeah.
I get excited when I get comments back. Mm-hmm. I get the most excitement when I get comments saying, thank you. I did my big chop in X year, however, whenever that was. And you've given me so many tips on hair care, and, I'm so happy that I found your channel, and, you've really helped me on my hair journey, that kind of stuff. That really motivates me a lot.
That's cute. I think we're similar in that sense. Cause like, I would agree with you, like doing those vid premieres, doing even stuff like this, which, well, this is a pre-recorded live, but doing the lives, like those kinds of things really do make a difference in the sense of, just pushing you forward, especially when you help somebody, like what you just mentioned. Like, it really does feel good. I agree.
It is a great feeling.
Yeah, for sure.
It is a great feeling. And I think also because for me, it's one of my creative outlets.
Yeah.
And also, I just feel like I don't know how to describe it, but there are other parts of my life that I do things to give back, or to work, do things for my family, that kind of stuff. But this is one of the areas in which I feel like I have something that's mine. Like, I feel like I've literally built it from 0 subscribers
Absolutely.
Up to where it is now.
Yep.
I've had, I think I just said this to you off camera, but I've been in a position where, someone tried to basically tell me what I should do with my channel, and I kind of gave them such a hard side eye, because I was like, I'll work for this. I don't know where you've been, but this is my baby. Okay.
Yeah, of course.
So, so it's like it's so many things to me. A creative outlet, my projects, a way of interacting with new people, all of the above.
Absolutely. I agree with you completely. It is a baby, so to speak. Like, you start at 0 and you literally grow your way on up. And it's like, just like a baby, you have to nurture it, right? And so I see that you're doing a lot of nurturing, and and that's the reason why you've been able to grow over time in the way that you're growing over time. So,
And
mhm.
yeah, and it's sorry to interrupt.
Don't
It's
worry.
I think it's also the investment over time as well, because you you can't do YouTube long term without having some kind of passion for it. Because the amount of time it takes to film, to edit, especially if you're doing it all yourself, the amount of time it takes to film, to edit, to upload, to do your description box and your titles and the tags and the end screens and cards and all of the other stuff, and then promote it. If it's not something that you really love or that you're really passionate about, there's something in it that you're passionate about,
Mhm.
it's very hard to maintain that level of dedication.
Absolutely.
And for me, it's something that I've dedicated a lot of time into. Like, I know that other YouTubers, I think people who are bigger YouTubers than me have like a whole team of people. But
Mhm.
for me, at the moment, everything that I have that's been put into my YouTube is stuff that I paid for and bought. My
Right.
camera, my tripod, my ring light,
Mhm.
my phone. Like, even when I'm choosing a new phone, I actually, one of the most important things for me is to check, like, what is the video capability? Can it film, in decent quality? Because I might have to I use a DSLR camera, but I have my phone as my backup just in case
Yeah.
I can't take, and it's great for filming at events and stuff like that.
Yep.
That all of the stuff that I have that's gone towards my channel, all the graphics I did myself,
Mhm.
all of all of the little bits that you see, I put all of the time and dedication into it.
Right.
So at this point, it's like I dedicated this into it because I really love my channel. So
Yeah.
it's not something that it's easy for me to just be like, oh, okay, I'm bored, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, no.
No.
if,
No,
if
it's so much more than that.
if someone feels that way at some point in their life, there's nothing wrong with that if you genuinely are not passionate about it anymore. But
Right.
for me, it's just no.
Yeah. And I'm with you on that. I mean, the good thing about it too is that, like, when we're building a relationship, we're building an audience, it seems like it's like anything else. It's communication. And so something that I've seen a lot of people do, they might say, like, I'm a little burnt out right now. I think that this is a time for me to step back and, just rejuvenate myself and come back bigger and stronger than before.
Mm.
So I feel like that's something for people to think about as well too, when it comes to, like, taking a break from that consistency, so to speak.
Yeah, and that's completely okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
And I think if your audience, the majority of people who genuinely support you will completely understand.
Mm-hmm.
Um, with all of the stuff that's happened in 2020, I've seen some YouTubers that have gone offline for a while and just been like, okay,
Deal. Yeah.
I'm gonna come back after I've had a bit of a break because this is a lot,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So we all, and life happens, I've been through a breakup before and got heartbroken and then took a break from YouTube. I was like, I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm gonna come on camera. You lots are all gonna see like my bug eyes from crying. Like this is not cute.
Yeah.
And I'm just not in the mood.
Yeah.
So sometimes it happens. It's
It is what
okay.
it is. Yeah, no, for sure. And what do you think about that? Like, vulnerability on YouTube. Like, a lot of people, they're like, or even the general YouTube advice is like, be real, be authentic, be emotional, like everything that makes good TV. I mean, one needs only look to like the whole entanglement thing with like Will and Jada to see just how quickly that sells. So, what are your
Yeah.
thoughts on this?
Oh, girl. You're bringing up my American accent now. Oh, girl. Wow.
Goodness.
I don't know. I'm still processing the whole August Jada and Will thing.
Yeah,
Bearing in mind though, I did hear a lot of rumors previously
yeah,
that
yeah,
this may, have happened.
yeah.
Anyway, going back to your question, vulnerability, authenticity. Um, there's nothing wrong with being authentic, being vulnerable, being genuine.
Right,
And I think that your viewers do want to see the vulnerable side of you,
right.
because what connects us is still, human beings are wired for human contact.
Mm-hmm.
And if we sit on YouTube and watch people for an hour or half an hour, 15 minutes, the reason you're watching is not because you're sitting on a device, it's because there's another person on the other side you feel like you can relate to, and you feel like you're interested in their experience of life or what they have to say. So I agree with that, but I think you personally have to find the line for yourself as to where that vulnerability should end.
Right.
I don't believe in vulnerability just for your audience's consumption.
Mm.
I just feel like that's,
I don't think so.
I don't know, on some level that feels a bit exploitative to me.
Yeah, and contrived. Like, it's just...
I shouldn't have to come on camera and cry
Yeah.
just so that you have something fun to watch. My pain is not fun. It's not fun for me.
Yeah.
If I want to share my pain with you because it's something that I want to share and share the experience of that with you, that's completely fine because I've chosen to do that. But I have to know why I'm choosing to do that. It's not something that anybody can really demand of you. You have to choose if that's something that you want to do.
Right.
I've personally chosen to keep certain parts of my life away from the cameras.
Yeah.
And I have my own reasons why I feel like I just don't want to share that stuff.
For sure.
It's my private life. I do have parts of that I do share.
Mm-hmm.
For example, at the end of 2018, my dad passed away.
I'm sorry to hear.
And I did share some of that with my audience.
Yeah.
And I've mentioned it in videos.
Yeah.
But it's something that's very close to home. And
Of course.
I don't know, would I do a video about it? If I felt inspired one day and I felt from my heart of hearts there's something that I think would really help someone and I wanted to share, then I would share a video on it, specifically thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a problem with sharing, but I just think there are some things that if you don't fully feel comfortable with sharing, you shouldn't have to feel like you have to share it just so that your audience has something to watch, you know, or will relate to it more.
Yeah.
I'm all for people sharing as much or as little as they personally want to. That's all.
I agree with you on that. I mean, I feel like, so like there's a lot of drama that's been going on. Well, YouTube is YouTube. There's going to be drama. But there's been like quite a few instances of drama that a lot of different, what do you call it there? Like YouTubers, they'll pick it up and then they'll repurpose it into like their own content, right? And I don't know, like I'm not knocking anything anybody does. Like, you know, if that's how you make your money and that's like that's your vision, that's your strategy, that's fine, right? Like it is what it is. There's a place for everything. But I just wonder, and I guess it'd be interesting to hear your thoughts on, like, how do you feel about, you know, when large YouTubers end up being like, they are vulnerable at something. So whether it's a divorce, whether it's a death, it's usually not so much deaths, but it's usually like divorces, especially with like highly publicized relationships. And then it just trickles all these little series underneath it, like of like reactions and commentary and like just the whole gamut of like a mini gossip, YouTube gossip type thing going on. Like, what is your feeling on that? Like, what do you think about that for like new YouTubers who find success with views when they jump on those types of situations and make like a reaction video about it? So like, I will use Will and Jada because they're popular and I think they've been down this road many times. So for them, it's just all part of the game. But we've seen that with some other people. I know, like, you know, Natural 85, for example, like she went through a really public breakup with her ex, and my heart is just, like, I don't even want to think about like what that might feel like. But like, what is your take on that? Because I have my opinion and I'll hold it to myself. But what's your, until, you know, and I'll share obviously, but what's your opinion on that before I share my piece?
It's tricky.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say that it's tricky. It's tricky because, it's tricky because for me, number one, this is the reason why I keep certain things private. because I just feel like certain things, I don't want everybody to have an opinion about certain things in my life.
Yeah.
And once I've put it out there, it is open for public opinion. Yeah. So, and for example, the whole thing of, and I'm not knocking anybody. I think it's lovely. I watch, like, there's one particular family on YouTube that I watch. I love watching their family vlogs. They have like one little boy and they have another baby on the way, and they're so adorable. And you can see the guy, he really loves her. Like, he's not just showing, like, doing it for the camera. He really loves her. And she's such a good mom. And he's a trucker. And I have an ex who used to be a trucker. He is